My name is Odin, and this is the Alien Swarm any % speedrun tutorial. First things first, if you want to speedrun Alien Swarm, you're gonna have to unlock at least level 23. It gives you the chainsaw, which is a very significant time saver, and basically it's hardly even possible to complete the game without it, at least solo. So if you don't have level 23 yet from casual playthroughs and such, you can just grind out experience by completing some of the easier levels, but if you have to go from 0 to 23, it's gonna take a while. And sadly there is just no available shortcuts, no cheats or anything to unlock these. Speedrunning is done on easy difficulty. We don't really have a limit on what difficulty you should choose, but easy is just the fastest because it's the easiest. And before you're able to speedrun by yourself, solo, you're gonna need one console command. Come on. ASW ignore need to player requirements. 0 is required to set to allow the game to start with only one marine in the lobby. You can put it in an auto-exec file in the CFG folder, and there's a couple of other useful console commands to make the HUD a little bit more neat, but I'm not going to go into all of that. Just know that without this command you just can't run by yourself at all. So you want to set up your marines in advance because timing only starts when you start running. You want to use Wildcat on as many maps as possible, which is 3 out of the 7. Because she simply moves the fastest and also does pretty good damage. She'll be using the marksman rifle and the flamer units because these are just the best weapons for speedrunning, especially on easy. And for the use item, you can choose between the electric charged armor, which makes you immune to parasites and stuns people around you when used, or you can pick the Hornet Barrage, which completely wipes people out. The charge armor is a lot safer, the Hornet Barrage is a little bit slower, or faster, I mean. But charge armor generally safer, so the better pick when starting out. And for the other levels, you have to have a tech marine, otherwise, again, the game just won't start it up. And Crash, or Vegas here, is the best tech because he gets bonus melee damage, which applies to chainsaws. Crash doesn't really have any upsides to switching on him on some of the other maps, so we're just gonna stay with Vegas. For the first level, he needs a sentry gun to survive and a chainsaw to get through. In later levels, you're gonna switch this sentry gun out with a flamer because, again, it's just the greatest weapon in the game. And the Hornet Barrage actually saves a lot of time on Vegas, so you gotta keep that one. So here we go. Most of the levels played solo are pretty straightforward, surprisingly enough. You think it's a 4-player co-op game that you're playing by yourself. So in this level you have very specific uses for your Hornets. The first is right here. It deals damage to the door, quite a lot of it, so it saves quite a bit of time to use it there. So you could use one on this door, but it does a lot less damage, and you kind of want to use one to quell this swarm of drones that's coming up right here. And here you can see why we run on easy instead of any of the other difficulties, because the drones are really slow and you can actually outrun them on this difficulty. And there's also just a bunch less of them than on other difficulties. So here's where you use the last one. And then you set up a sentry in the corner so that hopefully the swarm won't be able to reach you. You can almost always get around the corner like this one and not get shot, so you might want to be careful. Or you can just YOLO it. So these hacks are completely random, where the numbers start, which way they're moving, and hacking just feels super counterintuitive, so just try your best. Even I have some trouble with hacks from time to time, even though I've been playing this for hundreds of hours. So here we don't need a tech, so we switch over to Wildcat.
We can't get to the colony from up here. We need to get down to the lower level.
Mostly feel free to use your charge armor at this level wherever you want. Mostly you just want to try to not get stuck between drones. It's really the only way to lose time here. So normally you're supposed to blow up these explosive barrels to let this metal plate fall over this pit. But there's a little ledge here, and you can just barely walk over it. The game doesn't like you doing it, but it doesn't stop you either. So here's the auto-scroller part. You're supposed to ride this elevator all the way to down there, but that takes a long time and I don't really have time for that. So I stand very specifically between these two platformy things. Because during this ride, drones will start jumping from the ceiling onto the elevator. And though when they jump where is random, the spots that they land in are always the same. And so I'm standing right now on top of one of the spots where a drone can land. And when it does, its hitbox is gonna overlap with mine. And the only way the game knows how to deal with that is by knocking one of us on top of the other. So I'll be thrown on top of the drone, which will then allow me to get on top of this railing and just jump off the elevator. And from there you'll see what happens further. Any day now. There we go. 2 rolls. And we're stuck here. And that's good. So there's a completely random chance that the physics just won't allow you to get wedged into this corner or edge here. And you can just get shot down straight to the bottom of the elevator. In which case you're stuck and you're sad. And you just gotta reset. There's no chance, no way to get back up. So I'd like to have been a bit higher up, but this will be fine. So the platform here lowers itself, and eventually I'll be able to, well, pretty much get teleported to this location, because the game's just like, what the hell are you doing there? You gotta be somewhere paintable. There we go. And then you can just run to the end.
We better get to the colony and see what we can find.
So that trick is really inconsistent, but it saves up to 30 seconds, so there's basically no reason not to attempt it. It's pretty early in the run, so while it causes some resets, you kinda just gotta do it.
What do you want?
Third map, we go back to the tech, but at this point we have to switch to the flamethrower because stuff needs killing.
The situation isn't pretty. This next sector is completely overrun. There's a pipeline that the swarm's using as a super.
So in this level we get one of the more interesting parts of the alien swarm route, which is this item over here, the assault jets. So the assault jets let you rocket jump to a location on... Get out of here. To a location on to places that you can target. And while it seems at normal use kind of limited, like it won't let you jump past objectives that you haven't completed yet. As far as that goes, it's pretty well coded. But we still have some really nice jet jumps that can make you travel all the way across the map. So first we jump over this building. Then we line up this jet jump with the corner of the console right here. This will put me on top of this console. Come on, there we go. So standing on top makes doing this hack a lot simpler, because all of these guys won't be able to threaten me. But it's also important because it allows the lineup here. If you have higher graphic settings, you can usually see a red light over here, but I just know about the distance. And that jumps you all the way over there for a massive time saver. You would just jump over there for a tiny time saver because it's the best way to use one more charge. And then over here, you have the railing going over here, and you want to aim right in the center while hugging up against the wall. And then you can just spam it, and as soon as you can jump, it jumps all the way over here.
Power's out in the next area. I got an idea though for lighting up your way. Okay, I'm sending in bloodhounds.
So then one more hack, and then this is basically an auto-scroller. You have to wait for this airship to make its way all the way to the end. And in the meantime, you go ahead and just murder everything. You want to kind of watch out for the shield bug, because it can get you wrecked if you're not careful.
Okay, I'm gonna bring Bloodhound in low and hover. You climb across her back while she's waiting.
So you kind of want to clear out all of these drones first, and then you can just chainsaw this guy to death eventually. There you go. And now it's just a matter of waiting. So there's a bit of a random time gain that you can get here. Sometimes, as soon as Bloodhound lowers itself, you can run over it before Commander announces that you're able to, and I have absolutely no idea how that works. Just no idea whatsoever. It's practically random.
Good job.
Here we just got the normal timing. You can save 2 or 3 seconds if you get the quick crossing, but you can't do anything about it. So for the next level we still need the tech with the exact same loadout, so just mash the start mission button.
Okay, squad. Command wants the computers up and running. The colony's reactor was knocked offline by the swarm attack. So you need to find your way to the reactor core and get the juice back on in there.
So this level is really easy thanks to some completely unintended jet jumps. The first, when you pick it up, you kind of aim for this vertical beam here. Go away, go away, go away. And you get put all the way over here. You want to get rid of this guy. You want to blow up this barrel. Something I'll explain later. And then you can jump on top of this door by aiming somewhere around the bottom of the letters and just spamming the shit out of it. And eventually you'll get up. It can take a long time to get up here. It can be really finicky. You can lose a lot of time. There we go. Jump up here with an extra charge. So because we blew up the barrel, for some reason that allows you to jump over here into this window and get back out again. And then you have to jump on top of the door again. Go away, go away.
Okay, squad.
Go.
Just came down from on high.
Gotta be careful not to fall off. And then you walk out of bounds, over the top of the level, on top of the elevator here, and the mission just thinks you're in the end area and ends for you. So that mission can be anywhere between 50 seconds and 2 minutes long, depending on how well the door jump acts with you. But if you don't do that trick, then it takes more than 2 minutes, so it's always worth going for. So once again,
Alright,
no
sensors show a massive
tech
buildup of
necessary,
eggs
so
and
going with
biomass in this
Wildcats.
sector. Make yourselves a little room to work. Clear out the infestation. Burn them if you have to, but be advised that destroying biomass...
And this is where the charge armor really starts being useful by...
Okay, squad. Moisture's dripping
For some reason they only die when they jump
Looks like
at
an
you,
ideal breeding
instead of just
ground for
standing
swarm
next to you.
parasites. Medics, stay on your toes.
So they can kind of
I
block
don't
you
wanna
off
lose the
despite
Marines
being
to
useless.
infestation.
But well. Want to make sure that flame everything be a little bit excessive
Get a fire
necessary.
on that problem.
So here, I'm gonna be slow here for a moment just to show it off. This door blocks off a few eggs here, and you could chainsaw through it, but that takes very long. The marksman rifle shoots straight through doors. Go away, go away, go away. So you could just go up here and shoot all of them. But that's of course slow. So what I have is a visual cue lined up with the lines of the floor. This will hit the first egg. This guy's not supposed to be here yet. I'm actually just gonna get rid of this guy, so I can show it better. So this is the lineup for the first shot. And then approximately this. Is the lineup for the second shot. And that should have killed both of them. And there you go. I think they already died some other way. Whatever. The shots should work, and you can keep track of the counter in the top right when you actually do it to make sure that you've hit them. And then that's basically the only trick in here. The rest is just clearing out. This little pack of biomass can be super finicky, so always make sure to do a lot of fire over there just to make sure that it actually catches fire. And then the 4 eggs over here are kind of random, distributed about these 4 rooms. So you just have to figure out where it is and get the fastest route through. Always put out your fire with alt fire. And here there's another bunch of parasites and a bunch of eggs that you want to make sure that you're actually hitting. Because the game can get pretty finicky about it, and you don't want to miss one. Here if you keep firing it, it burns out faster, dies quicker, which is faster for obvious reasons. And then with that done, all that's required is to survive while the elevator goes up. I'm pretty low on health with all of the things that have been hitting me. We'll have to explain things, so there's a chance I'll just die here, in which case I'm just gonna go straight forward to the next part, because there's no trick to this. There's just making sure everything is on fire so that it doesn't kill you. So while I'm doing this, I might as well explain that my loading times are a little bit long, but we count out all loading times because it is a Source game. Source is kind of notorious for bad loading times on less than optimal systems or SSDs. So don't worry if you're loading slow, just remove it from your timings or your videos or whatever. We don't have an auto splitter like most Source games, at least not yet. If someone wants to put some effort into that, then be my guest. Oh, okay. I wasn't even paying attention to the elevator. You obviously want to go through as fast as possible. Last mission with Wildcats.
I'm picking up massive kinetic signatures in one of the old maintenance tunnels. Remember, those eggs are full of parasites. Take them out on site.
This is not a pretty straightforward map, but it has 2 pretty neat tricks. Gotta clear these guys out. So... Wait. So, I'll just show it off first. There's an explosive barrel over here that you have to hit in order to break open this crate so you can continue. And the fastest way to get that is to, while you're running over this stair, you can actually hit it. Approximately over there. Get out of the way. So let's see. There, I hit it. So of course you don't want to stand still while you do that. While running, you want to aim approximately in that direction and just try to take the shot. And if you get it, then you just saved 1 to 2 seconds. If you miss it, then you kind of want to aim like this. That gives a slightly faster shot as well. If you miss that, then just shoot it like that and accept that you wasted a second. It's not a massive deal, but getting the shot is just swag points, I guess. Here you gotta shoot these, but this is really simple. Just shoot him between the shield bugs and it'll basically automatically hit. Again, make sure you spew enough fire to make sure that everything is on fire. And use your armor to be immune to parasites. And here you want to refresh it. If you do get infected, then you can still just use the armor and it'll automatically remove the infection, but you of course take a bunch of damage in the process. So you'd prefer to get it off beforehand. Or just put them on fire. So here, you're supposed to blow up this thing again, and then these things will stop rotating and you're able to slip through. But again, there's a little ledge over here. The only problem is that it doesn't reach all the way to the end. So what you have to do to actually get past here is aim at a very shallow angle, so approximately like this. Then move all the way up until you hit the wall. Stand still, don't hold any directions, and jump to roll. If you roll too steep, then you'll just kind of bump into this thing and drop down to the floor again. Kind of like, or you just won't roll at all, kind of like that. So you want to make sure to aim pretty steep and not hold any directions, because otherwise you'll roll somewhere else entirely. It's a little bit finicky to get right, but once you get it right, it should always work. So then, if you go at full speed, this wall isn't even broken yet, but you can just make sure to stand upright up in front of it, and you should be able to get through without the tank bugs trolling you too much. Shield bugs, whichever. Final level, which is also the most complicated as far as visual cues and jumps and such go. Again, you need a tech, so we're gonna go back to Vegas.
Alright, the bomb's just up ahead.
If you do this exact movement around the edge here, you can make sure that those babies don't hit you. And they do a bunch of damage and knock you back, so it's nice to avoid that. But it's not a big deal if they do hit you.
Alright, there's the bomb. You'll need to use the rail system
Hit this
to
thing,
get that thing
hit this
into the
thing.
nest. Now remember, losing this fight is not an option. We're gonna sterilize this rock right down to its bare molecule.
I'm gonna clear a little bit earlier here just to get rid of everything properly. So this is the blink pack, and the blink pack is kinda like jet jumps, but different. It has a cooldown instead of charges, so basically you can only use it once because this is a speedrun, and you don't want to wait for cooldowns. But it also kind of throws you up over your location. And what this allows us to do, with this very specific lineup, I want to stand on this seam here, and I want to aim just a bit to the right of this beam that's sticking out, so that I'm diagonally kind of aiming into it, and as low as possible. So here it won't work, but as I move up a little bit, there you go. This puts me on top of this one, And I want to specifically be on top of this one. You can get on top of that one or that one, but if you didn't go, well, anywhere, you just drop down to the floor. But if you're on top of this one and you hold down and to the left, you walk up here. And then you can walk up here. And then you can walk up here. And then you're out of bounds. So there's a bunch of collision here, and you don't want to run into any of it, because running into collision while out of bounds will often make the game go, what are you doing here, what are you doing here, go stand somewhere that you're supposed to stand, which is down here. You don't want to be down there. So running directly diagonal, and then from here you can run up, and then you skip, sawing through that door, sawing through those rocks that are over here. Saves quite a bit of time. So when you do this fast, by now your blink pack is a few seconds away from cooldown. So, god damn it, I don't like that guy being there. So I'll just clear out these bugs for a second and show off the visual cue. So you're gonna stand over here after activating the bridge. And you're gonna aim for this line in the bridge. It starts moving, but you wanna aim at the exact same spot. And then... damn it. Oh, damn it, I'll just do it like this. So the thing that you can do, and that I just screwed up there terribly, is you can use the blink back to blink on top of this bridge. And as soon as the animation starts... oh god, that is bad. Okay, I'm just gonna restart this and I'm gonna show off the jump again. So here we are again. So I'm gonna activate the bridge. I'm gonna look over here. I'm gonna use the blink pack and spam the pickup button. And now I've blinked over here and I also have the jet jumps. Rocket boots, assault jets, whatever they're called. Then you wanna find where you can... come on, there we go. So you wanna aim approximately around here, where it's a bit darker. And then you just jump over this biomass, because it's faster than trying to burn it down. Cut this down. You do want to burn it afterwards, because it has to actually get out of your way. Then run over here. You could jet jump over there, but you want to have your charges left. Sawing on this part is fastest and also safest, because the shield bug can really troll you. Also this stuff can happen. Put the eggs on fire as you go by.
Activate the detonation sequence. After that, you're going to need to backtrack your way up to the surface to reach your...
I highly suggest you don't YOLO hack this terminal, but just take the time to burn down everything. Watch out for parasites, there will be a couple of them. And once these swarms are dead, now you can hack.
Syntech Mega Corporation. Clinical data.
Yep. So something I didn't actually explain, if you double tap E on one of these terminals, it'll skip the little introduction screen thing, which saves a pretty significant amount of time and is kind of necessary to get your hacks fast enough. So now there's a crap ton of swarm over here and you're never gonna walk past this. So we just jump over them. Over here. Occasionally there's a... oh, that's bad. Okay, fine. So you can't jet jump straight down from here, sadly. There's just no lineup that works. So the fastest jump you can do is over here. And then the next fastest is about over there. So you want to aim approximately at the mini-map. And just keep on walking down until it works. And that's basically it. Now you're running over to the end and just making sure you don't die.
Landing pads overrun. Loadouts coming in. Jump on our back and we'll get you out of there.
Stand over here. You wait. You make sure you don't die. There you go. So at the time of recording, the world record for this solo is, I think, 1709 with loads removed. That still has some room for improvement, although most of it is just grinding the RNG for the skips. And then there's also the ability to go any percent co-op, which is somewhat different because on some places the skips are completely different, but on other places you just do the same thing as an any percent with one person, and then the other has to suicide in order to get the end of the mission to work properly. So that's basically it. I hope I've properly illustrated all of the visual cues, all of the tricks, how they work and such. And the rest is simply getting to know the maps perfectly, knowing where everything spawns, knowing which of the spawns can be dangerous and which of them are trivial to get past. And, you know, just general practice. So I hope this tutorial has been helpful, and I hope to see you on the leaderboard soon.